out the entire half of the season.
So this ENCE versus Secret match is really exciting. Of course, ENCE haven't been having an amazing season along with Secret, but they've definitely been having more luck. They also beat G2, so it's going to be an interesting battle. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll take a look at our operators now. Now we've gone through NA, LATAM. We'll take a look at the defenders here in Europe. And yeah, it is definitely an interesting mix compared to the rest of the regions. As usual, though, Mute, pretty high pick rate nowadays.
Yeah, Mute really soaring across the world. Jaeger is up there at 62%. That's pretty darn high, all things considered. Smoke is usually the one to take that #1 spot, but he's in #2 with a little bit of a ban right there at 8%. Legion's not surprising either. He is the jack of all trades, really
Basically.
very useful in no matter where you are.
Well, the interesting part is that, and you mentioned that Smoke, used to be a lot higher than that. We've been seeing in North America is like the 85+ percentile. Well, here it seems like with the Mute available with the shotgun, he's kind of taken over Smoke every now and then. And EU has been the region where they can just forego Smoke in quite a few rounds, and it does explain the whole story. But we'll take a look at our bans now for the defense. Mira, oh yeah.
So Mira is interesting because she's also, I believe, the third most banned operator in LATAM. Echo is the most banned operator in LATAM. But they don't play her outside of that. So her ban rate is lower in Latin America. Here in Europe, they do play her in Latin America. That's the point I was trying to get at. In Europe, when she's not banned, she's almost never played.
They kind of got used to it.
Yeah, so 80% ban rate in Europe, and very rarely played outside of that 80%. Sometimes it will happen. In Latin America, she's almost always either banned or picked. So there's some really strong difference of opinion here on that note. Echo and Maestro sharing some proximity there, 40 and 36%. Maestro has almost no ban rate in Latin America. Again, differences in opinion.
Whereas you look at North America, and Maestro's all the way at the top with even beyond 50%.
Yeah.
And what's the biggest thing in common with all these 5 operators? Information gathering, intelligence, and this is what we have.
Yeah.
This has been the thing from the attackers to remove these operators on defense, so it doesn't allow the defenders to get too comfortable and aggressive against them, which is the metagame shift that we've been talking about recently.
So, the attackers. What are their pick rates? We'll start off here with Thermite at 57%, something that Europe actually has in common with Latin America. The #1 played attacker is Thermite. Ash also pretty high up there, has a 20% ban rate. The majority of those bans going against Team Empire, but we have seen bans against other teams as well, so definitely not all-encompassing, despite Empire being undefeated right now. Sophia also pretty high up there with a lot of soft destruction and disruption. Of course, just basically your side pick on the Ash, a little bit less speed, but it's a very useful operator, has other pieces of gadgetry. IQ is pretty high up as well.
Yeah.
That's one thing we were talking about last time.
Compared to other regions.
Yeah, Latin America just doesn't play IQ.
Which is something, if you're a coach, and this is for some people that don't understand how the whole coaching thing works, if you're a coach and you look at this and you see that there's specific operators of the region doesn't really run, then you can start to counter-strat it by using other ops that more often than not won't really be challenged in those situations. And in the bans, Monty is #1.
Yeah, so I'm sure you guys all have noticed that the ban rates across the board in the attackers are pretty low. I mean, 36% being the highest and the 20% being the lowest in the top 5. Obviously, what that means is you're going to have a lot of operators on the attacking side that get banned less consistently, but do get banned. And in Europe, across the world, actually, in terms of defenders, you have really high ban rates for individual operators.
Maestro, Echo,
high up. Yeah, really high up there, trying to, clamp down on the information for the defenders, but it's just, it's a different story when you go from attack to defense.
There's more flexibility on the attack, as we've seen, a lot more Capitao in play. We've been seeing shields here and there. There's just versatility. It depends, obviously, on the map and on the site that you're playing, so it's not always black and white, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But we're ready to start off their first game. We'll take a look at our lineups here. Starting off with Team Secret. Of course, they go up versus ENCE. It's Leon, Alems, Lackey, Stizzy, and Meepy.
Yeah, so Leon has been having an amazing season. Team Secret is at the bottom of the scoreboard. They are the currently rated worst team in Europe, but Leon is rated as the second best player individually in the entire region. Absolutely ridiculous. Currently at number 2, right behind Cantor Raketti, 67 kills in this season. No clutches so far. He's got a 0.7 cost, which is pretty darn high. Cost is a rating of consistency, by the way. And thank you, CGG, for that number, by the way.
Thank you very much, Splek and the squad, for all these numbers. There's so much more we're going to use later on for Invitational, but this is what we're going to
start getting used to it, guys. Yeah. It's great information to have. Leon plays IQ and Mute typically, but the story is how far he is from the rest of his teammates, because the next best player on Team Secret is the number 22 rated player in Europe. That's ENCE, and yeah, I mean, it's a far fling from him and Leon, and that's definitely a note worth writing down.
And it shows, looking at Team Secret's inconsistency throughout the whole season.
Yeah,
it's understandable that it's going to be like that.
They also have some players who have not been performing in this season, towards the bottom of the scoreboard overall in Europe. But that's Team Secret. They have an opponent here today.
Yeah, the Finns of ENCE, and they're bringing Boonsi, Gomfi, Wilkie, Shate, and Slevin, of course, Gomfi being the Belgian player on the squad. I have gotten news that from a couple weeks ago till now, Wilkie has taken the reins over from Gomfi, as early on in the season, it was Gomfi that was doing IGL.
Okay.
Now it's Wilkie that's more in the in-game lead position, as he was in the past. Sleben and Shate, though, they have been amazing throughout this season. Yeah. Even at ENCE's position right now at number 6, it's like 9, 8, 8, 7. Those are all in points from Chaos down to ENCE. It's very close between those positions, and those two players are definitely putting up the numbers.
Well, remember how I said Leon was the second best player currently statistically in all of Europe?
Yeah.
Sleben is the third best player. So, yeah, okay, ENCE hasn't been having an amazing season, but there's individuals on both of these teams that have a whole lot of potential and have been performing. Sleben currently has 57 kills, no clutches yet, and same as Leon at a 0.7 cost. Again, cost being a rating of consistency. He plays primarily Dokkaebi and Legion.
Yeah, and Sleben is definitely going up more and more as one of the people that you should look at for Rookie of the Year of EU. Because, his rise to power and fame has been very swift and decisive. But I think we're ready to figure out which map we're going to play on. So we'll bring that up in just a second. There you go. Our map. Vito will remind you that we have 2 auto bans, Oregon and Villa. Those have played with both of our teams last week, so we can't play those. And they'll ban out the 2, which will leave us with Bank. Actually, pretty interesting because both teams run consistently operators like Dokkaebi.
Yes.
Specifically Dokkaebi, but also Jackal and the flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, Sleben, again, one of the better players in not only his team, but also the entire region at number 3. He mains the Dokkaebi, and it's a very powerful operator to have, very useful on a map like Bank. You got a set of smokes, and you've got the ability to help your roamers, your roam hunters find the roamers. So definitely some very useful utility that we're going to see out of that operator individually.
Yeah, we'll take a look later on at those operator bans, because Bank has kind of settled into a few operators that get banned pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
It's most of the times an Echo getting removed from play on the defense, and more often than not, one of the heart breachers gets taken away from the attackers, usually the Habana, but there's always the flexibility within it. We've seen a lot of Thermite plus Maverick. It limits the choice for the attackers, and of course, teams that are starting off on the defense are going to keep this in mind and if we're going to start off on defense, let's rack up as many rounds as possible. We'll ban the Habana and try to play off of it by limiting our opponents. We'll see what you guys think, though, about this matchup in their community vote. And, okay, still a lot of Team Secret fans out there hopeful for it. Understandable, but...
Yeah, Team Secret's taking a lot more out of this than I would have expected, to be honest with you. I'm on the same page here. ENCE have been having a much better season. You remember how I told you how the next best player after Leon on Team Secret is ENCE at number 22 overall in the entire... What?
What's it for ENCE, then?
It's Shate at number 8. So
that's not a distance away.
We've got a lot more ENCE players that are definitely performing in this season right now. And I think that the expectations going into this match should be for ENCE. I mean, Team Secret have played on Bank before. They played it against Penta 2 play days ago. They lost.
Yep.
4-7. So this is definitely a situation where ENCE should be walking away with the win. They did take the vote overall, and I think that makes sense. But Secret, again, they have some pretty diehard fans, and that's justified. Remember last season?
Oh, it's a miracle run, pretty much.
I know. Team Secret was unstoppable. And going into this season, we expected to see the same, but they just have not shown it to us. So maybe this will be where they wake up.
Ah, there you go. banning the Dokkaebi, this will
Smart.
really limit Leon on the opposite end. ENCE with a bit of a target ban here, not only with the player on the opposite side, but the map specifically, as this might set up ENCE for roam play later on. Glaz will be removed by Team Secret, so both your main DMRs are going to be out of play for this. Though, interestingly enough, no Monty ban. Definitely something you'll have to watch out for on this map, as EU really likes to run this sort of strategy. Mira will be taken away by Secret, which leaves ENCE with the final pick. Either Echo or Maestro, as we've seen Shate playing both operators pretty comfortably, but they might remove the Pulse. They're starting off on defense. I wouldn't expect... there you go, actually.
There goes Pulse.
There goes Pulse, so ENCE have the flexibility with both the Echo and the Maestro, so they're just going to remove the Pulse. It's going to make things downstairs in CCTV a bit more difficult, but if you look at the way Pulse is played in Gold Vault, it makes a lot of sense that the Echo would be also in a position like that, and very protected. Again, more information, less reliance on C4 though. So I'm interested to see more of this. And you mentioned Penta v Secret, and they played a few weeks ago, a few play days ago, weeks. It was a 7-4 victory for Penta over Secret. Secret's entire strategy on defense specifically, which is the side they started off on, was try to double team for flanks. And it worked against Penta early on, but once Penta got on the defense, there was just no problem shutting down Secret.
So, getting into this match, we'll be going to the top floor to start things off.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
Shate trying to get the match to start faster. Thank you, Shate. The game must have hurt him.
It's like when you get in an elevator and keep clicking the
button,
for
but
the
it just
floor.
doesn't go.
Yeah.
And for some reason, our elevator, we don't have a close elevator button. Do you notice that?
Actually,
There's never a close elevator button in any of the elevators that we use on a daily basis.
Very true, actually.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, but no issue at all by seeing the dock in this situation. Having two ACOGs on this site is pretty darn good. You can play the Echo, but you're going to need a bit more room to maneuver. And because you're going to fight in the hallway every now and then, having the ability of the dock to not only give you information via the bulletproof camera, which Gomfi, I would just like to check here, if possible, Marcio, to see if Gomfi is indeed running the bulletproof camera. And no, actually, barbed wire.
So that makes sense, actually. I mean, I could see why you would want a bulletproof camera, but we've got the Evil Eyes, right?
Yeah.
So probably most of the places where a bulletproof is going to go, an Evil Eye will be there. Plus, you're playing dock. You're going to be playing it probably by Banana, so you can challenge the top of the garage.
You can heal yourself.
Right, you can heal yourself, but you've got the ACOG, and the barbed wire is going to help you with holding those main stairs, or main lobby stairs, not the main stairs. Those are different. Leon's going to take out one of the cameras. This is why Europe plays IQ. Again, we were talking about this in Latin America, how Latin America plays Valkyrie more than any other region, but they don't play IQ.
They never run IQ. It's so
hilarious.
Weird.
It's honestly funny.
Because you're like, oh, I have the operator that counters everything.
But we're just going to bring it. We're not going to bring it. So good on Leon bringing IQ. That his most played operator in this season. So that makes a whole lot of sense. And already putting it to good use.
We've been seeing a ton of this where a lot of rappel either on the front door or by the garage. It just allows you to have control of the back of the site, just to try and force the defenders to stay in a close position. But that's already what ENCE are planning on. And they even have Sleben downstairs on the Bandit, so he can maneuver around and contest his opponents from below and play close to the stairs later on, either in Skylight or by the main stairs, and Mipi will find the first one on Shate. A great entry here to take down the Maestro, and then LMs will get another one. Takes down Wilkie. C4 as well for play, forcing Gomfi to put himself in the hallway, as the wall has already been opened. Team Secret wasting no time.
Yeah, this could possibly be a lockout for Team Secret. They haven't lost time or players. They're in a great position right now to just take this pretty dominantly. Gomfi unknowingly exposing himself to Lackey, but some seriously bad missed shots there from Lackey, and Gomfi's still in play. He's gonna win the fight! Oh no, what a misstep by Lackey! Gomfi takes full advantage, and that's going to put ENCE back in this match. Gomfi can heal himself up and get back to site to support the rest of his players. In sight, though, is Secret. The smokes are covering the plant. Leon's going to take down Sleben, so bye-bye one of the anchors. The flank from Boonsey will be spotted, and he's the last one alive as Gomfi gets eliminated. Lems takes him down, and Team Secret will take the first round.
We're not going to mention that Zofia for now.
It's all right, Lackey.
Yeah, if you take away the one engagement, Secret played it excellently. And you know what? We can even mention it in a very positive light. Team Secret, the instant they heard the information that, hey, the doc just killed me, he's low on health, and he's in the lobby, they started the attack. They knew that there was little manpower left on the site, and they could overpower it with the usage of their smoke. And look at that. That's exactly what they did. Kudos to Secret to change things around here, because they've been struggling. And seeing them executing this level of teamwork on close calls and reacting to their opponents in their positions, excellent. I hope they continue like this, because this is the Secret we know.
Yeah, I was about to say something along the same lines there, Gaston, is I really want to see the Secret that we're used to seeing from the last season. They just haven't shown up, and I've missed them, man. Like, it was such a hype train, and I was hesitant to jump on it, as were you. I remember when it was actually happening, because it's, you know, you don't want to get on a hype train until you know that they can really secure it. Like, it's the same thing for Empire. Empire looking really good right now, but are they going to be able to keep that ball rolling going into the second half of the season? What about next season? That's the question, really. And I'm just, you know, I'm worried for Secret. I'm also partially hopeful that they're going to be able to bring it back in the second half. But that
they showed that they have the skill to do it 100%.
Right, but I'm still hesitant.
Exactly.
Is the problem, because what have they really shown us yet this season? Really? Nothing.
Yep.
Other than beating G2, and that was a flash in the pan. We can say that with authority now.
Yeah. Looking at overall performance and consistency, there's definitely something that that can and will be said. Let's do the setup again from ENCE, as I'll be going for the bottom floor here, playing on Tellers and Archive. VP running the Jackal with the PDW9. We've seen a big rise in the PDW, and if you guys have not watched the Rogue 9 video, basically breaking down the DPS between the C7E and the PDW9, guess what? The 9mm quote-unquote carbine SMG does more damage at range consistently compared to the 5.56 assault rifle.
Absolutely love what Rogue 9 does for the community, just in general, with all of his videos. I mean, some great information.
Yeah,
if you really want to get into like the stats and the raw knowledge of Siege, that's where you go.
Yeah, between Rogue 9 and Get Flanked, I think we're getting quite a bit of information that even we here in Pro League use quite a bit. But lacking in the same position as before, this has been a very powerful one. It shuts down any potential runouts or quick peeks for information. As you can see, there's still the Maestro and Wilkie on the Valkyrie. Actually, Wilkie playing a ton of Valkyrie in the past and continuing that strategy. But operators on the top floor, ENCE want to at least try to delay things as much as possible, because look at that. Leon is running breaching charges, and you also have Meepy with his ITA, and Lem's running the Sledge. Floor destruction on the top floor is going to be paramount for Team Secret.
Nice position there from Shate on top of the meeting table, and he's going to take down Lems. Shate having a good season so far and already doing some good work in this match. He's going to get his second after Leon eliminates Gomfi. Bad positioning from Gomfi, but Shate is there to recover this round. Meepy's going to miss a whole lot of shots there. He had the excess bullets, but he just couldn't land enough to take out the Maestro, and that's not going to be great for Team Secret. The roam overall successful for ENCE, and we've only got a minute left.
Yep. Still no top floor control. And again, the PDW9, even though it does more damage over range, oh, nice shot. Shot they finally eliminated, but it's a 3-3 at the 50-second mark. The PDW9, though, because you now have to think about penetration through walls, it gets much more complicated in the damage drop-offs. Stizzy with 1 more 2 kills for him here on the Thermite. But he hasn't opened the bottom floor just yet. And being so low on health, you can get easily shut down by the smoke with so little time left.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have trouble with those gas canisters. There's no C4 on Wilkie, though, so at least there's that. Meepy goes down to Wilkie from below. Excellent headshot from the Valkyrie. Last canister, and there's still 20 seconds left. Hence, with no utility left to their names. And oh, it's going to be a flurry of kills, but ENCE will come out on top, and we didn't get to see much of it, but ENCE still managing to win, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that was a trade at the end between the Zofia and the Smoke.
Like, yeah.
It was a 1-to-1 trade. But again, because the Thermite was so low in health, it didn't really take much to shut him down the instant the wall was destroyed. The fact that the Smoke at least traded was all that was required, and ENCE put up a valiant effort here. Highlight, though, for the defense, able to sit on that top floor for as long as possible. Shate, well done. He's been playing an excellent Maestro and Echo throughout the whole season, and his aggression is very well calculated. You know, a lot of people go away for quite a while, either streaming or looking at other things. Shate just comes back, takes a couple of weeks to warm up, and there you go. He's firing on all cylinders this season.
Absolutely. I mean, there's definitely something to be said about Not the potential to become no longer relevant as a player when you go for retirement, like me, for example. But Chate only took like a few months off, and you know, you can come back. There's a certain element to competitive Siege that once you learn it, you can't really unlearn it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit rusty, but you throw yourself back into the fire and forge your what used to be there, and I'm sure you can get it. And Chate has certainly proven that. Again, he's currently the second best player on his entire team statistically, and the 8th best player in all of Europe at a 1.11 rating.
There's a reason why Chate is the world champion. I mean, a reminder for everybody that wasn't around back then, because a lot of people started, you know, watching Pro League after Invitational last year. Chate was playing on the old Penta roster that is now G2, and yeah, he was an extremely important operator and player on that squad, basically allowing them to ease their way into that grand final as best as possible. And yes, he is one of the few world champions that exist out there, and can only be a world champion if you win the Invitational. We'll see who gets crowned this year around. And he's definitely been a great fit coming back on ENCE after Penta.
So it's going to be top floor again from ENCE. They tried this the first round. You all saw it didn't work out so well. And last time, we saw Secret go for an attack from the Skylight. Oh no, sees the head of IQ and lands the shot. It just took him a second longer than expected. Leon goes down, and without the IQ, there's going to be a lot of utility on the defense that will go undestroyed. That's a really good kill to have. AES is now much, much safer. You can worry less about grenades now.
Very true. Well,
Secret's going for that Skylight attack again.
At least they won't have to worry about any bandit or mute on the other side, so it just comes down to information. Once you have that, then you can say, okay, Stizzy, now you open the wall, and they can set themselves up for it. But they still have yet to contest the windows, and they're taking their sweet time here gathering info. There's a Maestro camera right next to him, actually, that's going to destroy the thermite charge the instant they set it down, and they don't have any utility for it. Lackey's far away because his role was not to be close to his teammates. He was supposed to shut down players on the other side. Lems can come in and smash it, and that is exactly what he just did. Of course, you can use the Breaching Hammer to take down that Evil Eye, and that's the start you're looking for.
We just saw an impact trick there, possibly from Wookie, onto the exothermic charge from Secret. Meepy's going to go down as well, so Team Secret up against a wall, quite literally, and unable to open it, as those impacts are oh so effective. Lackey in the main lobby, his job is to flank watch, but it looks like he's going to turn into the spearhead of the attack, since the attack has been forced to shift. Goffy's doing his best from Banana to deny this rotation, and he's going to do a little bit of damage here to Steezy, and that's definitely worth noting, but the main thing he's doing is delaying this push. Slevin gets a lucky break, and the Sledge of a Lems walks straight into his crosshair. Easy free kill for ENCE, and now the last two players of Secret looking to maybe hot breach into sight, a dangerous prospect.
Yeah, Wilkie was running those impact grenades, so understandable. I wonder if Stizzy had anything left at the end there, but it's like he's just going to dive into sight from the window. He doesn't really have many options. Going to get smoked here. Gumpy will shut down Stizzy, and Muncie with a quick kill from Janitor. We'll find Lackey, and ENCE will put a second round on the board. Kind of stalling out here. I think I want to attribute part of it to the Maestro Evil Eye that was set on the catwalk in Skylight, because the Sledge and the Zofia were both far away, and it ate up a lot of time. But I have to wonder why two players tried to move in from the front door later on to be shot down by the dock. They didn't have any exothermic charges at the end, possibly.
It was exactly that, Gaston. It was a rotation call. They said, okay, we can't open up the wall into CEO. They're just going to impact trick us. So where do we go? Well, Lackey's in main lobby. We can maybe make a push from main lobby. Why not? They tried that. It didn't work. So they decided to go for repel into sight. I really have to admire Team Secret for coming up with strats on the fly and trying to just seize any opportunity. But I have to admire ENCE even more for not presenting any opportunities, for not leaving that thread for Secret to tug on and tear apart the entire strategy that ENCE has established. That's a very good job from ENCE, managing to correct the mistake they had in the first round, which was not denying the exothermic charge. From there, ENCE bounced Secret away at every single turn.
And getting the pick on Leon as well.
Oh.
Skylight was very important. You shut down part of the flank watch. Great there. You couldn't deal with any utility at that point either.
Again, you know, minus IQ, minus second best rated player in all of Europe, Leon. So that's Definitely, that's definitely a good kill for Gomfi, and he's got to be patting himself on the back for that.
All right, well, ENCE now will go to open area. Distinctly, there is a lack of play on that bottom floor in CCTV, but it makes sense. Pulse is banned, and Mira is banned as well. You're like, you know what? We don't want to play Echo and Maestro. We're just going to run on the top floors. And they always have the opportunity here, ENCE, to go for the site. But so far, they've been pretty darn successful playing in here in Teller's Archives and in the CEO area. Now we'll go to open area. And a big part for a lot of teams in defense here is that horizontal spread. Secret does this as well, and I hope that we get to see this later on. You'll leave one player playing downstairs in the basement, and then one player on site, and then it's 3. One of them rotating in and out of archives, and the other 2 are just sticking to archives and tellers. You're going to try to burn out as much time as possible, and having the castle actually is more of a hindrance for the attackers than you would even think, because the main hallway is double castle barricaded, but it's also a safe rotation for the defenders, because they don't have to worry about getting shot on the side.
So it's going to be a good way for the defenders to retreat should they need to. It's interesting we haven't gone to the bottom floor as of yet. I mean, I understand some teams don't like it, but it's just uncommon to not see it in the first 4 rounds. Nice kill here for Leon. Wilkie not watching his angles properly. Gomfi's going to go down, and another one for Leon because Shate just gives it away. Going for a third. He's going to miss the shots, though, and Sleben will finally shut him down. Really pulling his weight in this round. Took a little bit of damage there, as has Gomfi, but so is Alems. So it's a nice even 3-3. And Secret have a good amount of control, but not enough to really give a good attack onto the site.
And because they don't have that extra player on the board, they're going to have to dedicate Alems to flank watch, and nobody's moving into Meepy's crosshairs either. So that his hash control is pretty much doing nothing. They're kind of stalling out here, Secret, trying to figure out how to deal with ENCE. As ENCE, if they just stick Bunsi on the site on his own, it should be more than enough to hold things out, and Sleben just exhausting his ammunition supplies. Oh, Alems, though, that's the one they needed. They find the entrance, and Bunsi's been shot down. See, all the cameras are going to get taken out as well on the site, as now everything will work very well for Meepy. Well, Sleben to come around from the side. He'll get 1 kill. Diffuser's going to get set. Try to rotate in from the skylight to fight in, but he's got no impact grenades. He can go through the barricade. This will give out a huge audio cue, and since he's already in position to watch for it, as he didn't have to worry about a rotation from the main hallway due to Meepy. It all worked out, and beautiful from Secret. They knew they could execute, but they needed to kill the 1 player on the site, and they got Bunsi. A beautiful flick from the sledge to find that oh so important kill.
Yeah. Secret very much in this match, and it's great to see them coordinating well and landing their shots as opposed to what they've been showing us throughout this season. But ENCE is still a force to be reckoned with. We'll see where they're going. It looks like it's going to be Tellers again.
Okay.
I mean, they did win Tellers,
Sure.
So that's fair, I suppose. It was the first site they managed to take. But again, still no basement defenses. I guess it makes sense. I mean, what ban are we missing right now that would make the basement defense powerful?
Pulse.
Well, no, make the basement attack powerful. Pardon me.
Defenders,
Well,
protect
glass
your
would
bombs
be
from
great.
being
The glass would be
defused
great,
by
but
Okabe as well would be great to clear out the roamers, right?
we don't have a Habana ban. We don't.
Very
The
true.
Habana's not banned. So there's always
This is
going to be a harder time defending the basement because we haven't seen. Whenever we don't see the Habana ban, the basement just doesn't get played. I mean,
You
it's
know,
just-
I think Secret were expecting that basement now. That's why they ran the Habana.
Yep, and they got that double hard breacher, so they have a lot of options at their disposal. So, yeah, this is a good setup here from Team Secret overall. I like that they are going to be able to cover all their bases. That's probably why ENCE isn't going to the basement, though. No Habana ban, which means just, yeah, I don't want to defend the basement.
You have
Because
to
all
deal
the
with
drop
patches. But that's the thing. In that case, because you don't have a mirror or the pulse,
Attackers
you
recover
can't
the diffuser.
get information on the main entryway into the site, right? Having the pulse. So instead of running an Echo and a Maestro, which will both be very static and be very vulnerable from the hatches and a quick drop from the hatch, they just completely just not even try to touch the basement. It's understandable. They did ban the pulse themselves, so
Yeah.
it's probably because they just have, you know, strategies that are working for it. But again, a 3-3 at the half on Bank, a pretty balanced map actually between the two sides, is not out of the ordinary.
So, we'll see if that's going to happen. Tellers, again, the site that is going to favor ENCE. So potentially could be the one that puts them up. Top went both ways, or has gone both ways, so that's a bit of a mix-up. It's probably where we'll go next. If ENCE win tellers. That's definitely an if. Leon looking for the angle on to Slevin. Slevin unaware of Leon's position, but he's aware that the windows in CEO are being broken, so that's definitely something he's going to pay attention to. As the wall in CEO, though, is opened up, he's got more angles to watch. This can make his hold a lot more difficult. Chate also playing upstairs, and he's going to land an excellent shot onto Leon. What a shot indeed. Leon gone early again. You really don't want to see it from him, but he is off the board, and Team Secret now are going to struggle, lacking their best player statistically this season.
Try to engage Slevin in the back, but he's going to stay alive, and they have control of Janitor. 3 players here from ENCE to try and hold it, with also Gubines. As you can see, the Legion is up close and personal. Gomfi even squirming on the floor trying to find it, but it's Boonsy. They'll find Stizzy. Meepy with the refrag on Slevin, taking down the dock in the back. No more support left for Chate and Gomfi, and Chate has been boosted up in HP, but instantly shot down. The C4 will not get it from Wookie, but at least Gomfi will find a refrag on Meepy. Advantage of manpower for ENCE. And we've seen how this turns out for this attacking side, as we had this exact same lineup, exact same result a few rounds ago when ENCE went down to the bottom floor. Gomfi still sticking up to trading. This can be huge if he can find the kill. That'll be confirmation on where the diffuser is. Holding on to it for as long as possible. Alems will fall back. Lackey coming in from the front side. He's on the side connector. There we go. Move into the hallway. Alems will try to bash away any barbed wire, and Lackey moving in from the main hallway. They'll have to use any utility left to their advantage here, but they're watching flanks. They're moving in. They'll fire in the back, but Wilkie gets the drop. Lems will go down. That's diffuser on the floor. Lackey all on his own. You see the positioning. Boonsy immediately turns around and blasts Lackey into, well, the next play day, I guess. That was a huge shot. Oh, man, I love ragdoll physics. They're so good.
Yeah, they are definitely very satisfying. Now, first half, at least tied up for ENCE, and that's pretty good.
Yep.
It's a healthy place to be. Again, Bank is one of those maps that is really well balanced in terms of attack and defense, and they're going to be going back upstairs. We talked about this before. Top floor has been successfully and unsuccessfully held from ENCE thus far. It's gone both ways, and because of that, it's still anybody's half. We could see a bit of a draw, or we could see ENCE put themselves in a commanding lead, and it's all going to come down to this next round. That last round was really interesting from Secret. They were a little bit all over the place. You know, I'm sure you noticed we had a Zofia in the main hallway while Sledge was coming from Skylight, for example.
Yeah, they're using Lackey as flank quad, and it's just they lacked the utility on the windows, for example, to try and deal with the players in the back.
And then also we have Leon getting picked off early again. Leon, again, he's one of the best players on that team. Statistically, he is the best player on that team, and he needs to be performing and living up to that status because his team needs him, man. They need him, and he's got 5 kills. He's topped the scoreboard, but he keeps getting picked off early. Imagine if he weren't getting those picks.
And this is the thing. When I want to tie this to another point, a lot of people talk about the star players and the support players. Basically, when the support players are able to do their job correctly, this allows the star player to really shine.
Yeah.
And when the whole team is working as one cohesive unit, guess what? Leon is going to be playing much better, and you're going to see the score reflect that thing as well. Just because it is still a team game, you know? You're not going to 1v5 everybody every single round. That's not how it works.
Certainly not. So, Team Secret. Looks like they're going to be going for a main lobby take. Setting themselves up lightly to do just that, but not fully committed just yet. Leon looking for some electronics using his electronic detector. He's going to find them, as well as the site. Good information to have. It's actually a light defense right now on the site itself. Potential for some kills here for Leon if he plays it right. Lems is going to get hit one for himself, though. Gomfi goes down. Gomfi was the one playing by Banana, overlooking the main lobby. Now that ENCE doesn't have anyone watching that, they're going to have to either rotate somebody in there, or Secret is going to take advantage of that control and set themselves up for a push from the main lobby into sight. And that could be very powerful for Team Secret, and could be all that is necessary for this to go 3-3.
All right, Leon watching for potential peak, but none will be found as ENCE kind of understanding that they're on the back foot, losing the one player, Gomfi, And they might just be expecting a push to come in from the back stairs, and that's exactly where you see Sleben trying to fight. Leon will take some damage to Sleben as well, but he's going to stay alive at least and try to slow down the attack of Team Secret for as long as possible. Trying to clear out any utility. Leon not going to find anything just yet. But this big pinch from the front and bottom is going to be really powerful for Secret if they can time the thermite charges correctly to maneuver in.
Grenades here from ENCE. He's just trying to clear out some utility. Maybe kill somebody who's playing by the elevator corner, but there's nobody there from ENCE. And while ENCE has lost a player early on in Gomfi, one of the more indomitable forces on ENCE's roster, it's not really seeming like Secret are able to really, do anything with this control that they've gained. ENCE are still playing passively. They're just waiting out the round, waiting for the attackers to put pressure on the site. Secret are being a little overcautious.
Leon just taking down all the windows. He wants as much Overwatch potential as possible. Whoa, the spray! I'll take down the Maestro in the back. Sleben with the refrag. Doe and Wilkie with the second one to finish off the window players. Boonsy's down in the meantime. Sleben taken out. It's all up to Wilkie potentially. He'll find yet another kill. Still has 2 impact grenades and diffuser with goo mines in the back pocket to use. We'll find 1 kill on the 2! Wilkie! What a clutch! The 4K from the Legion! And the in-game lead of the squad ends. Secure a positive half at 4 rounds to 2. Explosive play, nobody watching. The one position you can get shot by, and old but gold. Yeah, that's basically Wilkie in a nutshell.
What a clutch there from Wilkie. And it looked like Secret was going to be able to take it. It looked like we had a 3-3. It looked like this was going to go back and forth for the whole match. But Wilkie says no. Very impressive and well done to ENCE overall, I suppose, to take that first half 4-2, putting themselves in a great position moving forward. This is interesting. We're going to have Meepy 6-pick off of a Maestro into a Clash. That is backwards in my mind, but that's what Secret's committing to. Here's another thing that's really quite interesting. A basement defense. Now the question is there Hibana? The answer is yes.
Yep.
So ENCE is prepared for this eventuality, but it's curious.
I see this all working in my head. Look.
Okay.
We'll see. If it doesn't work, I'll get you a sandwich after this.
What kind of sandwich are we talking about?
Whichever.
I don't know any good sandwich shops in the city.
You and me both, buddy, but we'll find something.
I used to work in a really nice sandwich shop. We made with some of the best subs in our city over in Alameda. And oof.
One day when I go to California, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
But in this Secret, what are they gonna do? They got Leon playing the Ella. They got Meepy as well in the Clash. They're gonna mostly run up here on the stairs. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Holding, they have ADSs from ENCE to support them. All go cheap. We're good. What does ENCE have to counter this though? They have the Hibana, as you clearly mentioned. Well, the hatches are going to go away, and they also have Wilkie, which means pressure and a potential rush through the open area is going to be a big possibility here, which bypasses the Clash and the Ella so easily.
Yes, here's the problem. I get why you want to go with the Clash Ella strategy, but you didn't ban Hibana, man, which means basement is hard to defend. They could just avoid that by going for the drop-downs, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going to be happening right now. ENCE is aware of the potential for pressure on server, and look at that. Drop-downs open, guess what? Now nobody in server can get out of server. They're stuck there. And it looks like there's 2, possibly 3 people playing by server stairs. They're about to meet the full force of ENCE's roster. I'm curious if ENCE is going to actually commit to this push or if they're just going to go around as we theory crafted earlier.
Wilkie can drop in from the stairs here and fight very easily. He can just shut down the rotations. He's going to flash into the Clash, and I'm not sure if that completely flashes her as well. I've never tried it, actually. But he takes a lot of damage from the C4.
Yeah, it did do damage, but it didn't get a kill, so definitely not the best result from Lackey, but at least there's something done.
Yeah, still the Ash trying to watch in here. Just potential push, but still see the Ella doing the work with the Gashmots. They can't really do much from the back. The Ella will take a lot of damage as he rushes in.
Oh!
Wilkie will find it. Leon will go down. Meepy having taken no damage here. The explosive resistance of the Clash definitely helping. Will run all the way back, and Shate choosing not to fire. He does not want to alert Meepy just yet, and Gomfi will clean him out. Can they find the kill on the Valkyrie? Yes, they can. It's Gomfi for another one. And guess what? Minute 12 on the clock. You can go for resets if you want. With 2 alive still, the smoke though from Stizzy, if he can find the opportunity with his smokes, can do so much work.
You said it perfectly, Gaston. There is no rush on ENCE's side right now. All they need to do is be patient, and they're doing exactly that. ELEMS is going to give away a free kill to Sleben, thanks to, you guessed it, patience. CZ now the last defender. And yes, we have 2 lit operators on the attacking side, but it's not going to matter. Sleben shuts him down. Ends a perfect round. It was exactly what you were talking about, Gaston. You can't defend server on basement if you can't hold the drops. If you want to commit to that strategy secret, ban Hibana.
Yeah.
It's really, it's that simple.
I think they were just not aware of it. Honestly, the way it looked, they just didn't know how to deal with such a thing.
I'm surprised.
I like how ENCE just completely play around it. That's the beauty of it. ENCE designed these operator bans to work perfectly in their favor, because Team Secret's operator bans are getting fairly predictable, actually, which is something we can touch on later. But you can see it, and you add Bank on top of it, like, oh, ENCE can just maneuver around it, and they use Gomfi very well in that situation.
Okay, so holding on to server
Attackers need to locate
and banning
as many bombs as
Hibana
they can.
is an old strategy. Holding on to server with like an Ella, maybe you could throw Clash isn't old, but holding on to server stairs with Ella and banning Hibana, that's an old strategy. You know what's an even older strategy? Not banning Hibana and doing the same thing. And it's too dated. You know, we talk about always how the meta is cyclical, but this is one of those things where it's like, this is your counter you were talking about. Get rid of your counter if you want to commit to it.
Yeah, and this is what ENCE did. I mean, they removed the pulse, right? They removed the pulse, they removed the Dokkaebi. They didn't want to deal with the calls or anything like that that would throw away any of their positioning.
They won
the
that
defense,
first half.
And they won it very convincingly.
Yeah.
The last round, sure, it was a fun and all, but still, they had advantages to always play off of.
Yeah, on that note, actually, Wilkie, who overall has not been having the most amazing season, this match has really woken up. He's maybe not gotten too many kills, but he's been getting some of the more crucial ones. You know, moment where it really matters, Wilkie shows up. The impact frags, as we like to call them. So that's very impressive from Wilkie, and props to him for that.
All right, now he's going to be positioning himself on the rappel. This is a very common position now, and it makes a lot of sense if you want to pick off any players on the top floor. Sleben actually taking a decent chunk of damage early on the IQ. Not sure what or who did that to him, but he's going to try to shut down any utility that's been preset by Secret. Now, the thing with open area is that you really need to be able to move around the map, and bringing both the Maestro and the Echo might not be the best combination. Now, obviously, utility-wise, it's great, but forcing yourself to stay somewhere safe with that Echo might come back to bite you if the attack is efficient enough to actually break into the site.
Well, they haven't gotten anything else done just yet, but they're already touching the site, as you can see. Well, I mean, the barely off-site roamers, I suppose, technically speaking. Inside of Archives, you got that Maestro of Lackey trying to distract as long as possible. If you hold on to Archives, it's a very powerful position, which allows you to roam also by tellers. But you're not going to be able to hold on to Archives if Sleben has anything to say about it, and the rotation is officially cut off. That's going to put those roamers by tellers in a tricky spot. The question is, does ENCE know about those roamers, or are they going to be caught off guard?
Yeah, Yokai's going to get shot down here. As Stizzy, nicely done. He'll take down Sleben. He wasn't really able to do as much work as he'd like to against the Echo, but Wilkie falling back allowed him to do such work. Shate will get a kill on Leon, though, in the meantime. And Gomfi on the top floor. Lem shot down is, again, trying to go for an aggressive take on the top floor. Meepy trying to find the angle, and will connect, taking down Wilkie. Again, the MP5 suppressed doesn't really do a ton of damage at range, but still commendable to find the headshot, correcting his aim at the end. Dizzy not able to nail the shot on Shate, but it's Meepy to take him out. Boonsy with a refrag, leaving only Stizzy alone. He's got 3 gas canisters, but Gomfi running in again, find another kill on the Ash. I have to commend ENCE's ability to not only find the openings, but also seemingly great at putting players on operators they are able to perform on.
You know, it's partially ENCE finding the openings. It's also partially Secret leaving a whole heck of a lot of them. I mean, I'm not sure what was going on
there. The Jaeger
there.
moving up the stairs was a bit of a...
The Maestro inside of Archives Slevin just walked into the doorway. There was barbed wire in that doorway. Slevin still managed to get the kill. I believe it was, I want to say, Lackey who was playing in that position.
He was Lackey.
And after he got taken out, I mean, once you lose that control, you lose control of archives. That means your players' tellers are cut off. That means you can't use that whole half of the middle floor to roam. And I don't know. It was too much of a powerful pick for ENCE to be given for free. And that's exactly what happened. They got it for free. Secret are going to need to work on their positioning and holding the default locations that'll allow them to, you know, get picks or deny entries from ENCE to win rounds.
Slebin, Wilkie, and Gomfi all putting work on the board, and even Bunsi doing quite a bit, actually, compared to his usual, as he's not always been the most performing player on the squad.
Bunsi is one of the hardest core support players in the entire European region.
Since the beginning of the game.
Yeah, since the beginning of the game. And so it makes sense that he isn't going to be getting the most kills. And I believe his most played is Thermite and what else was it? Thermite and Smoke, you're absolutely right. So yeah, that stands to reason. He goes for those more utility-based operators.
Yep.
And yeah, he's having a good one right now.
Very true. And it's also a combo of, as you mentioned before, not only ENCE able to find openings, but Secret kind of giving them certain ones. Though, Wilkie again on the blitz. We've seen ENCE actually running quite a bit of Finca. They played it on Oregon last week. It was very interesting to see the way that they run it.
Yeah.
Kind of ran it too many times.
I mean, we see it a lot in LATAM, and there's some teams in Europe and North America that use Dark Zero, use it in North America.
G2 sometimes will run it as well.
It's definitely something that can, if trained with, can speed up the entire tempo of your team, and I think that's what some teams are catching on to.
Yep, she definitely has a lot of utility and is a bit of an underappreciated operator, but has her niche role.
We also had a match from ENCE where they were running a lot of Finca, but what was happening, I think it was Wilkie who kept getting picked off.
Yeah, it was, I believe, last week. Let me just check for a second here.
But yeah,
they played Penta on Oregon, and yeah, that was the one where they just played Finca way too many times.
But the story was that Wilkie was playing Finca, and he kept getting picked. Here, Wilkie's playing other roles there. He's the one getting the kills, and it's been working out pretty well for ENCE so far. Goffy's going to cut off a rotation between the kitchen and the open area. Some good control. I have no idea what Meepy was thinking with that. I have not one shred of a clue to what the thought process was with that yokai drone. Some wasted utility, and that's going to be unfortunate when it comes to the site push, but what's really important is Secret hasn't lost it.
But
what? Wilkie allowing Lackey to just knife him inside a kitchen. Alem's also going to take down Shate. Lack of information to the max here for ENCE, allowing some very easy pushes from Team Secret, leaving just Bunsi and Slebin in a 2 versus 5.
That was very odd, but ENCE were able to, well, Secret were able to capitalize very quickly on ENCE's positioning. Well, Leon is still playing on the top floor, but more of a roaming Maestro.
We were talking about how Secret are leaving a lot of gaps in their defense. Well, apparently ENCE is not watching all of the different angles either, and Secret just walked into all of those kills. That's it.
Is it possible that it's like, just overconfidence at this point?
I don't know if it's really overconfidence as much as it is just forgetting to hold default locations. Maybe they think that their enemy is going to go docile. That could be it. Yeah. And you could say that's overconfidence, I suppose. Leon's going to take down Bunsi, leaving just Slevin in a 1 versus 5, and he will be shut down. Slevin has no 1 versus X wins so far this season. He's not going to get one now.
Yeah, at least not in that round. Well done here by Secret, actually. It's a good thing they haven't fallen by the wayside. We'll remind you that the only way for Secret to get anything out of this game is to win every single round until they tie 6-6. They need to win 3 more in a row.
It'll be 4 total in a row, and that's quite a feat to pull off. And it looks like we're going back downstairs. So it's important to note that during the reveal phase that is happening right this second, which lasts a few 5 seconds, I believe. During the reveal phase, the attackers don't see the site that their opponents are going to, which means that ENCE can't know that it's going to be a basement defense unless they use Ella as the example for basement defense. And it's possible they're going to see the Ella and think to themselves, yeah, basement hold, but they haven't brought the blitz. So
Attackers need to locate.
there's going to be a tool that ENCE just does not have this time around. They still have the Hibana, still have a Thermite, so it's going to be good. They've got a Capitao instead of a blitz, which is powerful in terms of utility, especially for taking server and then going for a plant. But the blitz was very useful last time for ENCE on a basement attack, and it'll be different not having it.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Monty played at all.
That's
today.
true. I mean, he hasn't been banned.
Yeah.
It's weird. First of all, it's weird not to see him banned. Second of all, he's not banned. Why isn't he being played? It's Bank, too.
Yeah, and it's Europe. Even more reasons. Like,
Yeah.
this is the region on this map that plays this operator.
I was about to say the same thing about Echo and Maestro. Echo and Maestro are left unbanned, both of them, and I was going to say that's Europe's wet dream, but we don't always see both of them. As you can see, there's neither right now. Secret are just going for a very specific operator lineup to hold this site.
Yeah, the only way it could get weirder is as if nobody banned Mira, and you're like, are we, what is everybody sick? You know, but
Yeah.
still, it is viable. You've seen how it works, and of course you trade off having the blitz, the pure fragging power, and the oppressiveness that the operator brings to the table. Actually, speaking of oppressiveness, no Ying either. Just a bit of a side note. But bringing the Capitao is very good as well. You know you're going to have hatch control because you have Hibana and Thermite, right? You know that you can use your smokes and your asphyxiating bolts very effectively to deal with anybody that's playing in the main hallway or red hallway. You're not going to have to deal with a pulse. C4 play is not going to be present at all from Secret because the pulse is not in play. You're pretty good to just lock down rotations.
Well, I suppose when it comes to the operator selection, it's going to come down to what your team wants to play, and that's probably the story behind what we have here for Team Secret. Now, ENCE looking to take into server again, and they've cut off the rotation on the main stairs as well. Looks like they're still hunting down the potential roamers from Team Secret. I don't know if there are any. Basement defense says no, but of course we can't know. Looks like 3, 4, so we've got at least 4 people on site, and it looks like 1 in garage. So yeah, full anchors here from Team Secret, which means as soon as ENCE has control of those stairs, they don't need to worry about anything. Except for taking control of the server, which is the really hard step that they face themselves up against right now. And
The question is, do they dive or not?
yeah, but the problem is they don't have the blitz anymore. I mean, the Capitao's good. Oh no, Lackey will take out Wilkie. And I was about to say the Capitao will be good against the Clash, but he's gone. Sleben's able to refrag. He takes down Lems on the main stairs, and you can see Leon is on very low HP, dangerously close to death. And since this is match point, he really needs to get reset or have somebody help him get those kills. Luckily, he has the Clash, who will call out the location of his opponents to get those kills.
Oh no, Sleben coming in from the back. There's nobody watching it. Stizzy gets taken down, and now he has control of the entire site. He'll find one more, 2 more kills in the back, and it's all 1v4. No one on the flank watch for Team Secret. The Clash is all on her own, and Sleben with the 4K to clean it all up. There's nobody watching the stairs. There was the smoke, but it was way too far away with no information to play off of it. And ENCE, yet again, they find the one weakness, and they exploit it perfectly.
Very impressively done there from ENCE. And a serious mistake from Team Secret to not have enough coverage overall.
Just Sleben, slap him, just slapping at this point. Just change his name.
Yeah, I talked about this earlier. Currently, Sleben is rated, going into today, Sleben was rated the #3 best player in all of Europe. And that might actually be different now. He might have gone up a few ranks, given that performance. He had 57 kills to start the day off, and what did he get, 14 in that one?
13.
13, so that's nice and flush.
Pretty good.
Yeah, very clean there. He's just put himself up at 70 kills. It's a lot.
You have the advantage, and then the smoke that is on the stairs is just not even looking at it. They're so busy with trying to help the Ela and the Clash, they kind of forget that there's another flank that can get pushed by. And it always happens. A lot of teams, what they'll do is even have 2 players in that position. And once that kill happens, how do they rotate back? Everybody vaults over the same exact position. Not expecting Sleben to be like, oh, I'm just going to keep watching the stairs and hold the hallway. No, he has an advantage. He's going to push it. There was nobody there. Nobody responded to him. Not a single bullet was fired his way.
It would have worked against Slevin if there was somebody else watching the main stairs.
Usually a Jaeger has that position with a smoke.
Anybody, it doesn't matter who it is. A
Yep.
guy with a gun pointing a barrel at the bottom of the main stairs,
basically-
but there was nobody there. And that right there is, again, it's what we were talking about throughout the entire match. Secret not watching defaults. Not holding on to what they need to hold on to in order to deny easy pushes into the site and, you know, complete stomps from ENCE. And that's what that last round was. That's what pretty much this whole match was, it felt like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Secret managed to get 3 rounds, but
Not in a convincing fashion.
no.
They had one very convincing round. The second to last round.
What, you think the second to last round over the second round? Okay, well, fair enough. I mean, I think
Because in that round they exploited the openings that they really found in ENCE early on. Whereas when they attacked open area, they kind of just Bunsi peaked and we just got the pick off of it. And at that point they had manpower advantage even.
yeah, fair enough.
Otherwise, yes, of course it was the victory that they acquired, but the main one for me is that second to last round when they played defense and they were just able to play around ENCE very well.
It was a pretty dominant round. I will say that. I think ENCE got a little bit distracted in that round as well.
Sure.
They were I always like to say it, all over the place. They were coming in from the top floor and also trying to cover in the main lobby tank. The thing about the main lobby tank is usually you could just isolate the flank on the top floor and then you could hit the main lobby, but a little too spread out. They lost too many lives. Yeah. But it was one of 3 rounds that Secret managed to take, and
Yeah.
that's not a lot.
Yeah, well, we'll dive more into that as we have an interview lined up with Gomfi. Evening, Gomfi. How are you?
Hey, what's up, man?
It's
I'm alright.
It's interesting finally seeing you on here as ex-Belgian, I guess, for myself, if that's something to be said. But again, congratulations on your matchup against Team Secret. Going in a very odd way, you guys were controlled pretty much the entire time. I mean, I'm going to focus on, first of all, the second to last round where you kind of, as Kix was just mentioning, you were kind of spread out. You were attacking. Secret was on the defense. There were in Talos Archives, completely spread out, and you didn't know how to really deal with them. You saw Wilkie got shot down downstairs, even knifed by the Valkyrie playing an open area. What was going on? Droning seemed to be very non-existent in the round.
Honestly, we were just going into that round like expecting they were gonna hold like top floor, and then as we start joining the top, we're like, oh well, they're kind of like not holding it. So then we were like stalling, taking time, like checking where they're roaming. And then we see their like open office, and obviously like our like mid round adaptation to like getting hatches open and stuff, and like pinching them inside the open office, it didn't really work out because we kind of had like no idea how to attack it pretty much. And it really showed, like
It really did. That's for sure. Now on that final round, I have to say Slevin has been already playing very well on the team. You played your attack on the first time when you were attacking into the bottom floor in CCTV. First of all, before I dig into the final round, I want to talk about how the bans were projected for this. Did you not play the CCTV just because there was no Hibana and Pulse ban? That was your adaptation?
I mean, we just don't really like the site, to be honest. There's nothing more to it than that. I mean, we know what Secret likes to play, like in terms of like Pulse and stuff. We just banned that, and we're just not comfortable playing the CCTV. So I mean, there's nothing more to it than that.
Because for us, we saw the Hibana ban, or like, the Hibana not being banned. We're like, okay, already that's gonna weaken the site. So it definitely did play into your advantage there at the end. But on final round, the Ella and the Clash were sitting up close. You didn't have a blitz in the round. The Capital fell. That was Wilkie the first one, and then Slevin just kind of walks in from the back with nobody watching and gets a free 4K.
Yeah, I mean,
was there somebody droning for him or something?
No, like that was just we knew there was one guy on site. There's 3 guys in server. We already killed like one guy. It's like there's one guy on site. Like just push the guys. Like take the site under control. We're just like Shate is holding it so they can't like run into site from the server, and I'm holding the top server stairs. I mean, there's nothing they can do at that point if we just like if we like push aside with like Slevin and Bunzi and whatever. So
yeah, because I think Shate was also holding the hatch in open area. So
exactly.
He had the rotation from the hallway. There's only one position you really have to worry about. It was excellently played there. I have to say the communication was working very well. The team. A final highlight: Wilkie's 4K on the Legion as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Wookie took this morning, but I mean,
You lost the early gunfight, right? You were playing the dock in that round, correct? And you lost. You were winning it before, at least staying alive on the top floor in the office, and then lost it. The entire back flank was held away, and then Wilkie just kind of played solo. Was it also a similar way to how Slebin kind of just reacted and pushed in, or was there more information being given to Wilkie to play off of it?
It's ENCE in a nutshell, man. Like we become complete solo players like when we're at a disadvantage. I mean, we didn't really have that many cams, so we couldn't really help him out. So he just kind of like went off, There's nothing more to say about that.
It definitely was the ENCE magic. A specific camera that we were highlighting was the Maestro camera that was the Evil Eye and Skylight that was put to deal with a Thermite in round 3. And it really slowed down Secret to the point where they just didn't have any charges to move in and had to come in from the opposite end. It was pretty much a free round for you guys at that point. There's some intricacies here and there that you get to look at, and I'm glad we get to catch a lot of it here because a lot of times there's some subtleties that teams kind of pass by the wayside that we don't get to see in the strategies. But with that done, Gumphy, anything you'd like to say to the fans that are out there watching ENCE in the final play day, actually getting an extra 3 points on the board, convincingly?
Yeah, I mean, we started the season off rough, but like the fact that people still like root for us and stuff, I mean, it means a lot. Like every Twitch message that has like easy for ENCE or whatever, like it means a lot to us for sure.
All right. Well, Gumphy, thank you very much for the interview. Congratulations again. Unfortunately, we won't see you guys at Invitational as the squad, but we'll see you in just a few weeks. Then you'll be back for Playday number 8 for EU. Thank you very much for the interview, and good night.
Thank you, Milash. Bye now.
It's good to see him.
Yeah.
And I think ENCE definitely earned that win.
Oh, no question about
Hands
it.
down. Actually, believe if you said it was 13 kills, right, for Slebin?
Yep.
Yeah, with 13 kills, that's going to make Slebin the first one in Europe, not overall, not in the world, but the first one in Europe this season to get 70. And that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. We'll see how things move around in this playday, as Kanto might be ready to put the numbers on the board.
Kanto's at like 67 kills right now.
It's pretty close.
Kanto is statistically the best player in all of Europe. Just period there. Just as in terms of stats. So he could potentially overtake him.
I know it's a bit of a shocker. Of my statistic. Well, Kanto, best player? Okay.
But that's the last match of the day. And
Exactly.
up
That could
next we
change.
have Chaos versus Empire, but that's not for a little while.
Yeah. We're going to go for a break now. And as you mentioned, Chaos versus Team Empire, the Swedes, and the Russians will strike again, this time not over Finland. See what happens. We'll be right back.
Drop the bomb diffuser.